Hi everyone, and welcome to my process video on...
Dear God in heaven, stop! Don't! You're making a...
What the hell? Who are you? Wait, can we say hell on YouTube?
No, this is the worst mistake. Top 10 mistakes small YouTubers can make. You must listen to me.
Wait, no, I thought this was supposed to be like a process video, like a Speedpaint process where I show people how I do stuff.
Before you go any further, before you make any more videos, you must remember that you must never even...
Sketching process, drawing process, painting process. When it comes to any of my digital paintings, the first thing I do is make a rough sketch. When I make this sketch, I want to define character pose, angles, all that fun stuff. Line of flow. You can see that little whoo line right down there. At this point, I'm probably referencing a drawing I've done before, or a drawing I've done later. I was gonna say that doesn't make any sense. But what I meant to say was, sometimes I'll use photo reference, which is totally normal, by the way. Don't fall into the trap of thinking it's not. And sometimes I'll reference myself. Taking photo or video reference of yourself is one of the best ways to get natural poses for drawings, although trying to figure it out with just a selfie cam can be kinda tricky. A helpful tip I learned about line art as we move into this stage is that line art is basically just really defined shadows. And if you think about trying to put your thickest line art, depending on what sort of style you're using, where the thickest shadows would be if there weren't any lines, you can kind of determine where the thick lines should be and where the thin lines should be. Sometimes with a thing like this eyebrow... Comment below if you got spooked into thinking your computer battery was dying, because I certainly did while editing it. I think I shut my whole laptop down. Good times. For eyes, it's especially helped me to realize that you only really need to put lines where the darkest shadow of the eye would be. And there are styles where you can outline the entire eye, but I found for me, it's really fun to kind of play with not outlining the whole thing. Ah, the illustrious hands. I continue to struggle, and I predict I will, for quite some time. And yet hands are some of my favorite things to draw, I think. There's so much expression in hands, not that these hands are ultra expressive, but there's so many different ways to draw them, so many different ways they can go. Sometimes when the sketch layer isn't serving me well, I will erase a little bit on a previous layer and just draw with the opacity turned way down. Makes things a little easier, helps me differentiate the sketch from the line art, and so I don't get confused and, God forbid, draw on the wrong layer. The skirt was interesting because when I originally drew it, I felt it looked like her hips were turning in the opposite direction of her torso. So I changed the lines just slightly, and then I suddenly felt like it looked like she was turning a different way. Line direction can do that to you. Smallest curve or angle can change the whole picture, and I think that's pretty neat. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically filling in the entire selection with a solid color so I can make a clipping mask over it and paint all over it without worrying about coloring outside the lines. I made the selection by using the magic wand tool to select the entire area outside of the line art, and then pressing Ctrl-Shift-I to invert it. You'll have to check your drawing software to see what your shortcuts are, but that works out well for me. And so for coloring this one, I decided to try a technique I hadn't really tried before, which is coloring the entire picture in grayscale and then putting a flat color layer over top of it and lowering the opacity so all the shadows are already done for you. I'm not sure if it's a method I'll try again, but it certainly was interesting and fun for a character with a lot of very dark blacks in her design. Ah, the beautiful sound of a toilet flushing. Music to my ears. Oh, there it goes, the nice gurgle, that's what you want to hear. Alright, I'm very sorry. See, this is what I really love about digital art, how you can just, what I did there is I put shadow over the whole top of her head, and then I just erased it in places where I thought the light would reflect from underneath her eyebrows, from her eyeballs themselves, and it just makes the whole picture just pop in a brand new exciting way. The entire time I drew this, I was keeping in mind that my light source for this painting was going to be the book itself. And so you can see that I am keeping that very much in mind as I color the entire character. That's why it's really important to determine your light source before you start doing anything, or at least anything with color. But it can inform the line art too, since as I said, the line art is basically just very concentrated shadows. And here's where I begin to struggle with color. Color, color, color. Such a fun little tool to play with. The background in this painting gave me a lot of grief, because it's already such a dark painting. I didn't want to obscure the figure, but I wasn't sure how much I could really help that because I wanted her to be in a dark room. Who is slamming doors? Jeez. It is 11 p.m., people. Get with the program. In the end, I ended up going with a sort of green background, or was it purple? No, it was purple. Well, I don't remember. We'll have to wait and see. I believe it was purple to contrast the green light, but maybe it was green to contrast your purple shadow. Either way, contrast is important. Here, oh, this was so fun to do. So all the colors are changing so much in this section because I'm messing with the layer modes, which is a drop-down menu at the top of the layers docker. There are common modes like multiply and soft light, harsh light. There are also really fun modes like color dodge, and each of them does something else to your paint colors in relation to the colors underneath them. So I highly recommend playing with those if you have not tried those out. They're in pretty much every drawing program ever. The other way I messed with the colors was by raising and lowering the opacity on certain layers. Especially for those with shadows and other colors underneath them that could really change the picture as a whole, just by making a layer a little more see-through or not. So here I'm messing with two of my favorite techniques ever, rim light and line art. Rim light I like because of the name, because I am a child. But I also like it because it looks really cool. You can really get that sense that a character is really glowing from the background. Ooh, an airplane. Or is it a really big truck? Could be. There's a highway nearby. I always think about all those people driving in the dark. I love driving in the dark. It's also terrifying. I like doing things that terrify me. I'm really scared of swings, and I go on them every time I see one. I did make the background purple. Good choice, me. The lighting in this was tricky because I'm still learning lighting and I didn't want to overdo it, but it was also so dang fun. Seriously, if you're not a big lighting person, just try it. Give yourself a sketch or something, a small painting with lighting you can go hey on. And dang, just go for it, man. Pick an angle, do something weird. It's fun to play with. I wanted to put little eyes all around her like Beetlejuice eyes watching you, but I thought maybe they looked like something else, so I'm not going to say what that is because in my mind it was a little dirty, and I'm sure your mind will make it dirty too if you're anything like. And then of course his signature, and with that you're done.
So it turns out one of the top mistakes a small YouTuber can make on YouTube is overestimating how much time they have. So we will not be doing Thursday uploads anymore because I can't. But we will be doing Monday uploads, assuming this video has gone on live on Monday as I planned. Because weekly stuff. Woo. Anyway, if you're seeing this and it's Monday, you're in. Bye.
Listen to reason for once, will you? You didn't even say stay cool, creatives. You didn't even tell them about all the plans we made that we have never finished. How will you ever maintain an audience this way?